It is an honor to have Patrick Renucci and his wife, Rachel Renucci Tan, join us in a Rockwell studio. Good morning, guys. Thanks for joining us, flying all the way from Leyte.
Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning, Michelle. Thank you for having us also.
Thank you so much for inviting us.
It is our pleasure. So Patrick, Rachel, from printing, banking, and investments to rice, when did you two realize that rice had a special place in your hearts?
Yes, it all started in 2014. At the time, I was running a real estate investment fund, my own fund management house out of Hong Kong, investing in real estate in China. And at the time, I predicted the fall in China real estate and the fact that the market was closing in only for local players. And decided, what's next? I couldn't stay in real estate forever. So I thought the next really important question that will preoccupy the world would be food security. And I'm thinking, where should I try and address the question of food security? And I'm thinking the Philippines, which is where I'm from. So I came home, looked at different places and decided to come to Leyte because it was just surviving from Yolanda. And rice is the most important crop of the Philippines, and decided that there were many issues challenging the industry, and perhaps there would be something my husband and I could do to help.
And Patrick, you're from printing, so far from rice. How'd you get yourself into rice?
Yes, as Rachel said, in the November 2013, we were all shocked and affected by the Yolanda typhoon that hit Leyte. And my wife and I, at one point, maybe we just discussed together and we said maybe it's time for us to change the way we're doing business and to try to switch in a sustainable business. And we thought that Leyte was an opportunity for us to change the way we are living and doing business and making money. So that's the start and the beginning of a big story for us. It was the Typhoon Yolanda.
And
so
rice
that's why we came.
Yes.
Yes, sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay, and that's why we decided at one point to close our flat in Paris, in London, or in Hong Kong, and to move to Leyte Alang-Alang in the Visayas region. To start our adventure.
Adventure, you call it adventure. Tell us what Rice Revolution is all about. I mean, how does the program work exactly? I know you just signed with the Land Bank of the Philippines for funding there. Can you explain how the procedure works?
Yes, we call it the Philippine Rice Revolution starting in Leyte because we feel we are disrupting the rice industry as it currently is in the country. What that means is that we will start from seed growing, palay production, and integrate the farmers in our supply chain and treat them like business partners. And so we start, again, like I said, we cover the entire value chain from growing the seeds, growing the palay, processing the rice, and off to distribution. At the moment, in the north, in the rice basin of the Philippines, basically there's a disconnect between the farmers and the rice millers. The rice millers basically build very high-tech processing centers, and then they just buy the palay from various sources. They mix them, and I believe sometimes they mix them with imported rice as well. And so basically there's a disconnect between the farmers and the rice millers. Our business model is a sustainable business model, which my husband and I brought from Europe, and that means helping the farmers get out of poverty, uplifting them from poverty by making them a key stakeholder of our business, and in so doing increasing their income by 10 times. The flip side of that is that we control our supply of palay and its quality, and by deploying technology we are able to deliver very high quality rice to the Filipino consumer at an affordable price. That, in a nutshell, is our rice revolution.
Just a quick question, though. So just to clarify, so you provide the seedlings to the farmers, you provide them the technology and the funding. Once the palay has grown, and when they're harvested, do you also buy from these farmers?
Yes, that is correct. Maybe Patrick, you want to explain?
Yes, of course, we will buy all the palay We will buy 100% of the palay, so because we want the farmer to feel what is it to earn money. Today, all the farmers in the Philippines, and particularly in Leyte, they don't know what is money anymore. Their monies are just using palay. So after harvesting, they keep their palay. Then when they need to go to fiesta or go to, they have an event or they need to spend money, they will only trade with palay. We want them to understand that today, to bargain or to pay, they need to use money, real money. So that's why we are going to buy 100% of the harvest. So we hope the farmer will be able to feel what is to have money again.
And I can see you've set pretty ambitious targets here with Rice Revolution. Instead of 120 to 130 sacks of rice per hectare, you're looking to boost that to 175. Instead of farmers earning 19,000, you're boosting that to 220,000 net income for farmers. Are these achievable?
Yes, that's right. Of course, it's achievable, and we already did it because during construction, now our factory is under construction, so we already did some pilots with farmer. Excuse me?
4 pilots.
4 pilots?
Yes,
we did 4 pilots. Yes, and we noticed, and we know now we have some data. Some of the farmers already reach over 200 bags
through our pilot.
So we know it's possible. And we believe that if all the farmers are using the right inputs, the right technology, and following our instruction, they can reach up to 200 bags. So that's what we would like to achieve.
And Michelle, it's not 120 bags that they're averaging at the moment. They're actually averaging 60 to 80 bags per hectare only. Yes.
Wow,
yes.
so that's like 3 times.
Yes. That 2.5 times is the goal.
Rachel, I know. Yes. Rachel, I know you used to be an investment banker. You're into the math. How much of an investment did you make in the Rice Revolution, and what sort of ROI are you looking at when it comes to this project, or is this really just a corporative? I mean, what exactly is corporative anyway?
The corporative is actually a concept of the land bank. That is a project that is we're still developing with them. We are not doing this at the moment. It's a separate program that we're doing at the moment. But briefly, on behalf of the land bank and President Alex Bonaventura, I think his idea is to have private enterprise run and manage the farms on behalf of the farmers, because the principle is that after the agrarian reform, each farmer now is owning an average of 1 hectare per farmer. So it's very difficult to properly manage these farms. There are many issues challenging them, meaning they are heavily into debt. The inputs that are provided to them do not go into planting. They are pole vaulted or sold for other purposes. And therefore the idea is for the farmers to partner with private enterprise. We run and operate the farms, and there's a profit sharing mechanism with them. However, that is a land bank program that we are still working on with them. Our program is different. It's not a cooperative program. It's more based on contract farming and organizing the farmers under the Renucci partnership program, whereby we provide low interest loans and technical support, meaning we teach them how to plant again because the farmers seem to have forgotten how to plant. We deploy technology all the way from planting, highly mechanized technology, to harvesting, and then of course to processing the rice. So we're deploying very, very high technology, advanced technology in order to produce very high quality rice.
May I ask how big?
Increase.
Yes. Yeah. May I ask, Rachel, how big this investment is for the two of you?
We really don't like to talk about money, but we can just say that it's a
sizable amount.
What we can say is It's a sizable amount, and apparently it's the largest loan the land bank has extended to private enterprise in agriculture. So just to give you a scale.
Okay, that's good enough. Patrick, I know you've been quoted as saying in the newspapers that you want Filipino farmers to be as rich as farmers in France. Can you tell us about your home country and how farmers live there? I mean, what sort of impressions do farmers from France give you?
Yes, okay. So I will try to compare, but it's difficult to compare because France already changed a long time ago the way they are farming. So here in the Philippines, we're a little bit behind. But we believe that in few years, in few cropping, we can be the same, the Filipino farmers can be the same as the French farmer. That means using technology, a lot of mechanization, because unfortunately we know that today we cannot avoid mechanization anymore, and in the Philippines today you have a lot of manual laborers, but nobody wants to go into farming anymore, so you have a lot of problem finding labor. So that's why we need to introduce mechanization massively all around the Philippines, and that's what we would like to show in Leyte. How to do farming, how to use mechanization, how to use technology. And this is the way we're doing farming in France, but not only in France. That's the way we're doing farming now all around the world. So we want to upgrade the Philippines to the modern way of farming that it's used all around the world. And doing this and this new way of farming and using technology and the right inputs, we believe that Philippines will be self-sufficient into rice very soon. So that's our target today.
Okay, just I wanted to note for the audience that a World Bank data from 2010 actually showed French farmers are the most productive in the world, while a 2015 OECD data showing that France is among the highest, the agriculture in France has among the highest employment share when it comes to total employment. So that's why we should really learn a lot from French farmers. Very quickly on two hot issues here in the Philippines. Patrick, you already mentioned this. Rice self-sufficiency. How soon do you think can we hit rice self-sufficiency? And do you think this should be the target to begin with?
Yes, it's maybe not the target to begin with, but it's the target we have to keep in mind. Okay, the schedule or when it's going to be happening, we don't know. Depends how fast the farmer and the Philippine mentality will change. So it can happen tomorrow, but we have to change. If there is no change for improvement, we won't be able, the Philippines, to be self-sufficient into rice. And why, just to go back on that point, why French farmers are so successful, or they are making a lot of money? I mean, it's a big word, making a lot of money, but they are very comfortable living and using high tech. Why? Because France is taking care of their farmer. Farming, it's about food security. It's so important. And that's why we believe that we have to change the way people are farming, the way people are looking into the farm today. Because food is so important. And that's why we want the Philippines to be auto-sufficient very soon.
And Rachel, we are now in the process of ASEAN economic integration. Do you think that when the integration actually fully happens, I know it's a long process, Philippine farmers will be able to compete with farmers from Thailand, Vietnam? I mean, these are the competitive ones in the region.
Yes, absolutely. And this is one of the goals of our program. You were asking earlier about the size of our business. Suffice to say, we will be the largest rice processing center in the Visayas and Mindanao regions. And with the volume of production volume we are able to produce, we believe that we can bring down production costs. The only way to achieve that for the farmers, to make them as competitive as their Thai and Vietnamese counterparts, is to increase the yield, their production yield, which will then bring down their costs. To make them, we're targeting a production cost of say 6 pesos per kilo, which we've achieved in our pilot. At the moment, the national average is 14 pesos per kilo. If our farmers can be as competitive as our Thai and Vietnamese counterparts, then there's less of a reason for us to import.
Okay, and one last question. Do you have plans of expanding this program beyond Leyte?
For now, we'd like to expand in Leyte, but our fervent hope is that our model would be replicated nationwide by other rice producers. And if it is replicated nationwide, then our dream of the Philippines becoming self-sufficient can come true.
Okay, and we all hope that dream comes true for our farmers as well. Thank you so much, Patrick and Rachel, for joining us this morning. Interesting discussion here.
Thank you so much, Michelle.
Thank you.
Thank you.